welcome to the 9 News Business Buzz. I'm Ryan Fraser, 9 News business expert. If you watched Spain capture the World Cup title in that dramatic 1-0 win over Argentina yesterday, you already know soccer fever has officially taken over. But this tournament wasn't just about sports. It was a massive economic lifeline for the hospitality industry. National data shows bar sales surged up to 15% in host cities, but even here in Colorado, local tap rooms have seen a huge lift. Joining me to talk about the reality on the ground is Karen Hertz, founder of Holidaily Brewing, right here in Golden, Colorado. Karen, welcome on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Karen, we just saw this report by Lyft Data showing a venue right here in Denver was the most visited bar in the entire country during the tournament. Did you see that same type of hyper-local frenzy up in Golden at Holidaily?
Yeah, I think, some of the data you just shared, the 15% growth, that was for cities where they had games, right? So outside of those cities, non-host cities, we're seeing about a 5 to 5.5% bump in our sales. And in Golden up at Holidaily, we definitely saw some of that. I think a lot of that really is not only more people coming out and getting together to watch games, but the timing of games was different. It may be earlier in the day, so we might have a couple people come in and finish their workday and have a beer during the week, but this would bring people in earlier because there were games on and a reason to get together and get out there and have a beer.
Yeah, now, you all at Holidaily are a little different than other breweries. I mean, you're gluten-free,
It is
right?
true.
So I have to ask you, right?
Yeah.
We think beer, we don't always think about gluten-free beer, which is
Right.
hugely popular, and you are one of the leaders in the country in providing gluten-free beer. Did you see any sort of noticeable difference being a gluten-free provider of beer versus, a regular?
I mean, I think, data-wise, it's real similar to other breweries. Colorado is a huge craft brewery state, so a lot of different tap rooms to choose from. I think what's really unique about Holidaily is that gluten-free piece, and so what we were able to do is provide really anybody the opportunity to come out to a bar and hang out with their friends and have a beer.
Yeah.
And that's really rewarding to me and to our staff because if you're gluten-free, you may not get to do that in other cities, and here in Colorado, we provide that opportunity for people.
I want to come back to the tap room piece because as a craft brewery owner, how critical, Karen, do you think it is to have a physical tap room to capture that high margin draft business directly rather than relying just on distribution?
Yeah, I mean, you made a really good point. So when you distribute beer, you have to pay for all the packaging, you pay for the labor to package it, so your margins really go down. Where in a tap room, you're tapping it and you're pouring the beer. But on top of that, it's great for marketing and just relationship building with your consumer. They can come in, have a conversation with me, meet our brewers, ask them about the process. So it's just an added benefit to building a brand and letting people really build a relationship with your brand.
Yeah, I feel like that's a part of this, right? The upside for business owners and bar owners like you, Karen, is you had all these World Cup people come in, right? Some of which perhaps came for the first time, and it was almost like a reminder or a refresher that you got a local tap room in your neighborhood where you can come out and have a beer, gluten-free beer,
Definitely,
in your case, and enjoy the camaraderie and fellowship of your friends and your neighbors. I mean, that's got to be pretty special to have that, right?
I think so, and I think it's slowed down a little bit. Since COVID, people haven't come out, and this boost is just a great reminder people how fun it is to go out with your friends, but also, for a lot of tap rooms, I think people just think, they're pouring beer, but they don't remember that there's maybe a TV screen or multiple TV screens in there, so you can double down and watch a game and hang out. And so I think hopefully there's an added benefit from this last really blip up over sports to remind people, oh yeah, Holidaily or another tap room has 4 TVs. We could go watch the game there.
Yeah. Well, and here's hoping that in 4 years' time, when they have the World Cup again, the U.S. goes even further. That's got to be a good thing, having more of a U.S. run in it. But I want to come back to the sustainable side of this in terms of sustaining the business, right? Obviously, a big plus up with the tournament and throughout the World Cup. But, how do you convert this sudden influx, if you will, of first-time World Cup visitors into regular, year-round Holidaily customers now that the tournament is over?
Yeah, I think Beer Brands did a really good job ahead of time to promote beer as the beverage of the World Cup, right? And so I think our brands need to continue to remind people that beer pairs really well with sports. And hopefully, this halo effect continues into football and other things. And in tap rooms, we offered discounts if they wore their jersey. And there's just other opportunities to continue to promote beer as an occasion with sports. And I hope to see that continues moving forward.
Karen Hertz, I want to thank you so much for joining me. It's incredible to see how a global event can have such a direct and positive impact on our local Colorado businesses. We need more of it. Karen Hertz of Holidaily Brewing, thanks so much for joining us again on the program.
You are very welcome.
For the 9 News Business Buzz, I'm Ryan Fraser. Have a great week.